Hello, everybody, and welcome to Raw Dogs, a bodyslam.net post show. I, your humble host, am Nick Perkins, joined as always by Cory Hayes, old Scoops Hayes, we call him.
How we doing? How we doing, everybody? I was just on the channel about 5 minutes ago, so good to see you again.
You are no stranger to streaming. I know that you live streamed the entire Raw. How was that experience for you? Was that fun?
I've been having fun doing the watch alongs lately. It's a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying it.
It's fun to watch wrestling with your buds, right? Even if your buds are just in the internet, right?
Online, yeah, definitely, 100%.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about, man. It's been a busy, chaotic, to use your word, couple weeks in the world of professional wrestling before we get to everything that happened on Raw. And, of course, that main event, that was huge, that I don't think anybody expected to go the way it did. I did want to talk about Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank from this last weekend. Were you able to catch both of those shows?
Yeah, I live streamed for 9 hours on the channel watching.
9 hours.
Yeah.
That's insane. That sounds fun though. Again, it's like
I had by the end of Money in the Bank, I had like 4,700 people in here with me. So
that's
it was
amazing.
Fun. Yeah, it was fun.
That's really cool. So what did you think of the shows? Let's start with the AAA.
Worlds Collide was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The presentation was great. I saw that PW Insider put out a report that Jeremy Borash was the one in charge of it. Did a fantastic job. Yeah, because it wasn't your normal WWE show. It felt different. It just felt different because it was focused completely on the wrestling. It gave the wrestlers their freedom to do what they wanted to do, and it brought new eyes to Lucha Libre. So
sure.
that was fun to see. A lot of people. It made. I'm going to say this right now. It made people fans of Mr. Iguana.
Who would have thought?
Loresca and Mr. Iguana together. Yeah, WWE's got a lot of marketing opportunities with Mr. Iguana now. So,
I think.
But yeah, the show Worlds Collide was fun. I had a blast watching it. The main event between El Hijo del Vikingo and Chad Gable was outstanding.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't watched the show yet and you just want to watch that match, it's on the WWE YouTube channel now. The show is on the YouTube channel too, but if you want to go and just watch specifically that main event match, it's on the YouTube right now.
So and you should specifically watch that match. It was incredible. I think, he's kind of in a doofy gimmick, but I think this really is the year of Chad Gable, allegedly, if he actually is a Grande Americano, which there's no proof. I'm not saying that.
I saw the boots. The boots said CG. I've seen the tattoo. He wrestles like him. He looks like him. It's Chad Gable.
I don't know. We're never 100% sure, and I don't want to be misquoted. So it was a great match, though. It was a great show. What about Money in the Bank? That was a pretty noteworthy show as well, correct?
Naomi got her baby, the briefcase. I loved it. That's my hometown girl. I'm happy for her. Before the year started, I was told to expect big things for her in 2025. Which started with the heel turn and then turned into a WrestleMania one-on-one match with Jade Cargill, and you got her winning Money in the Bank briefcase, and now the word is discussing that she's going to have another match with Jade Cargill. So it's going to be a big match and a big year for her. I'm proud of her. I'm happy for her. She's gone through so much. She's done so much. I'm very, very happy for Trin.
Nobody deserves it more. She's put in incredible performances over the last year, more than the last year. Ever since she came back, she's been doing great stuff. It's cool to see her get her flowers and her briefcase.
When she left, that's when it's not like she was bad before she left.
Yeah,
she was great. She was a champion. She was somebody they wanted for the future. She left. She went to TNA. She did her thing over there in Impact Wrestling. She was the Knockouts champion over there. Had a nice run over there before dropping it to Jordynne Grace. Then she came back to WWE in the Royal Rumble. Last year, and ever since she's come back, she has been kicking ass. And like I said, I'm very proud of her. Her work speaks for itself. You don't have to talk about her work speaks for itself. So absolutely. I'm proud of her. A crossover from Worlds Collide Dominic Mysterio defended his title against Octagon Jr.
Yeah, what a fun surprise match.
5-minute match. I mean,
Yeah.
people are like, it's too short, but it was good for 5 minutes. Octagon Jr. was getting the offense in. He made you a believer in him. Let's not forget, Dom didn't win clean. Dom did not win clean. Dom won with interference by his lover girl. His lover girl got involved.
Which one?
That's a good question. No, Liv got involved in that match. I saw people saying that it was a burial of Octagon Jr. No, not even close. The word bury gets used far too broadly now.
That's very true.
Stinks.
But
yeah, that match was good. You had Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch stole the show again. Their chemistry is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I can watch those two wrestle all day. They're great. I wouldn't call them wrestling soulmates yet, but they're at least wrestling like good friends, you know?
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, they have that chemistry. They've put on 3 incredible matches against each other. So it was been fun to watch that. Like I said, that was probably their best match of the 3. I really enjoyed it. Then you had the men's Money in the Bank. Obviously, had a lot of shenanigans in it. You had Seth Rollins guys. Seth Rollins guys get involved. You had Solo Sikoa's guys get involved, which ultimately led to Jacob Fatu turning on Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, that was awesome. I did not expect that.
It's been building up for quite a while, and the final straw was Solo Sikoa telling JC Mateo on SmackDown that Jacob Fatu is all gas, no brains. And Jacob
Fatu was like that Batista Triple H moment.
Yeah, he heard him. He heard it in the background, and that really pissed him off. He went out there to help him at the moment, but at the end of the day, he said, "You're not getting this Money in the Bank briefcase. You want to talk about me like that? I'm gonna screw you over." So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with this program. Especially because I think they're going to do a United States Championship program. And whether that, because right now Jacob Fatu and Damian Priest looks like the direction they're going for the U.S. title. So if they do go that direction, I don't know if Solo Sikoa cost Jacob Fatu the match, leading to Damian Priest getting the United States Championship again in his career, or if they go clean there and Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa have a match somewhere in the summer for that United States Championship. But I'm looking forward to what happens there. And ultimately, Seth Rollins won the Money in the Bank briefcase again for the second time in his career.
Were you expecting that, or were you expecting somebody different?
It's not that I wasn't expecting it. I had said the day before that he's being featured way too much on SmackDown, beating up everybody. I didn't think he was going to win it. The betting odds had Solo Sikoa there winning. WrestleVotes had put out a report on Thursday on the WrestleVotes radio that Naomi and Seth Rollins were the favorites to win the briefcase, and that's obviously what happened. They said that the other 2 that were being discussed were Rhea Ripley and Solo Sikoa, but that obviously didn't happen. So Seth Rollins having the briefcase now to dangle over the World Heavyweight Championship and the undisputed WWE Championship. I'm excited to see what's going to happen there. We'll talk about a future program that's going to be happening when we start talking about Monday Night Raw. We'll talk about this future program that I broke this afternoon, and then we'll talk. So the main event obviously was John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso went over. But why did they go over? Well, we got the return of a hooded man. A hooded man attacked John Cena, beat him down, hit him with a spear, hit him with the championship. The hooded man turned out to be none other than Ron the Truth Killings.
Not our truth, Ron Killings. That's a good distinction to make.
Ron the Truth Killings.
Yeah.
And the crowd went insane. That was the best part of the match. I'm not going to lie. Him returning was the best part of that tag team match.
What a cool reaction he got. It's so cool to see guys.
I'll get into some stuff because we're going to talk about him on the show tonight, and then I'll talk about what I've heard, and we'll get into some stuff. But yeah, it was great to see him back. I was so happy when I found out. I knew that they said that it was held tight. I found out before the main event.
Okay. So that's pretty tight.
Yeah, it was very tight knit. I found out just like I found out the information that I posted today about Monday Night Raw and what's going to happen. I found out right before the main event. I saw Sean Ross Sapp said something too about the main event's got something going on. He said he didn't know exactly what it was, but he had heard something was happening. And I told him, I was like, hey, look, something's about to happen. And I got a text message that said there's a plan B for the tag team match.
Okay.
The tag team match was originally just supposed to be a clean tag team match with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso going over, setting up Cody versus John Cena down the line.
Sure.
Instead, we got Ron Killing showing up, and that was the plan B. Ron Killing showed up, was fantastic. Like I said, I'm happy he's back. It would have been a disservice to that man to let him go. He's beloved by everybody universally, not just in WWE, but everywhere. He's a beloved wrestler, a beloved human being. He's a vet that locker room needs. So I was glad to see him show up and get the reaction that he did at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles.
It was a sight to behold. It was one of those reactions that you'll remember for a very, very long time. It was a hot start to a pretty good, I would say, Money in the Bank show. Nothing too crazy happened, but the matches delivered. We got some great Money in the Bank winners. We got to see Cody and Jey Uso with their hands held high, which is a little bit different tonight. And why not start talking about what happened tonight? You mentioned that you got a little inside intel. I first found out, and this is 100% true, I first found out that John Cena and CM Punk were going to have an interaction because of you. I saw your tweets, and I was like, oh, that's very exciting. So talk to us a little bit about that. That was, of course, the first segment of the night. John Cena came out, cut his relatively typical.
Oh, he cut a this promo was something like he hasn't done so far. This was a different John Cena promo. He basically said, you fed me everybody, and I'm still here. I'm still the champion. Where's your best? I haven't seen your best. You're not giving me anybody that's worthy. I'm still the last real champion. What's going on here?
And of course, when you say best,
as you alluded to, I had tweeted this afternoon a picture of John Cena and CM Punk, covered up picture, a spoiler alert on Twitter.
Thank you for that.
I don't give out true spoilers. I tease, and if I'm gonna give you something, I'm gonna cover it. So
people appreciate that.
They do. And there was more. Obviously, they dropped on the Body Slam Patreon today, the first ever post on the Body Slam Patreon.
Excellent.
So if you're not subscribed, you can go ahead and subscribe to us. And we're gonna start dropping exclusives. We're gonna be doing shows, linked to our Discord. It's a lot of stuff. But yeah, we had some stuff in there. I'll talk about what was dropped in there also. I dropped what the Fatal 4-Way matches were going to be tonight before Adam Pearce had a message on the WWE Twitter about what the matches were. I had already informed the Patreon and Body Slam personnel what was happening in those Fatal 4-Way matches. So we'll talk about the Fatal 4-Ways in a little bit. I dropped news about a return that was happening tonight that was not Nikki Bella that we will talk about. I dropped news about a return that's happening next week that WWE was dumb enough to spoil on their TV program. Yeah, so we got a lot to talk about tonight. But yeah, the Cena promo going, Punk interrupting him, coming out interrupting him, felt like 2011 again. It brought me back to my high school years where I'm sitting there, I'm enjoying the hell out of CM Punk and John Cena going back and forth. It went back and forth for a long time. And then you had the inclusion of The Rock during that time and Miz, and it was a crazy time. But yeah, it brought me back to Cena and Punk 2011. Punk basically got on the mic and said, "You're evil. You're evil. You, with that title, you've done nothing. All you've done is corrupt and cheat and work your way that way to keep the championship. Since I have returned to WWE, have stayed away from that championship because I'm afraid of what will happen to me once I get that championship." Then Punk throws out a challenge and says, I want to face you. I want to face you. And Cena, looking perplexed, is like, the best in the world versus the greatest of all time for the undisputed WWE Championship. You're on, but not tonight.
Classic.
You want this title? You're going to have to come and take it from me in Saudi Arabia.
There it is.
That caught a lot of people by surprise. The fact that John Cena was challenging CM Punk to a match in Saudi Arabia.
Let's talk about that, because that was kind of for the majority of the show. That was obviously CM Punk had some less than enthusiastic things to say about Saudi Arabia shows in the past, but now, and it was made official later in the show, that match will happen at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. What do you make of Punk's previous comments and kind of where he's at now? People grow, people change their minds. Is it as big of a deal?
They're already started online. They're calling him a hypocrite, saying he's sold out. At the end of the day, he's under contract to a company. He can't straight up tell them, no, I'm not going to work. Okay. If they want you to work, you're going to work. And he did an interview last month. There was a Q&A on his Instagram story. And they asked him, why do you hate Saudi Arabia? He said, I don't hate Saudi Arabia. I've never been there. How can I hate somewhere I've never been?
I was kind of teasing the waters a little bit.
People were like, because he was in the Royal Rumble. He was in the Royal Rumble video package. And they were teasing when Night of Champions was announced. He was in the Night of Champions package when it was announced. Another thing that was exclusively reported by Body Slam. Body Slam exclusively reported the dates that SmackDown would be going before Night of Champions from Saudi Arabia, and you would be in Saudi Arabia for Night of Champions. WrestleVotes were the first one to put it on the radar, though, that Night of Champions was going to be the only Saudi Arabia pay-per-view this year. So shout out to those guys, my friends over at WrestleVotes. Shout out to Joey and TC, great guys. I appreciate both of them. Boris over here, he said he's a draw. He could say no, not in this case. Not in this case. He can't.
And think about it, like he probably wouldn't want to say no. He's so far Punk's been like
right now. If he's been doing everything the right way in WWE, and that includes going to the Performance Center and being a mentor to these up and coming superstars, being a great person backstage. He knows this is his final opportunity. He knows that if one more thing happens, he's done, and this is his last opportunity to get a final run, because he's not going to be wrestling much longer either. So
sure.
He's 46, I think. CM Punk is 46, I think.
But
yeah, he's definitely on his final legs. So I don't have an opinion on him going to Saudi Arabia. He said that obviously to get a major pop. When he was in AEW, he got a major pop when he made that buy one get blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He got a major pop from the AEW crowd when he made that comment to MJF. But yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I probably won't be able to watch Night of Champions. I'll be real. I probably won't be able to watch it. I think I got something planned that day on the 28th, so I probably won't be able to watch it. But there's a few things going to be happening there. Like I said, we'll talk about something I broke earlier too later on in the show. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I think that match should have been at SummerSlam though. I think Cena versus Punk should have been the SummerSlam match. But I have a feeling they're doing something else with Rollins at SummerSlam. I think they're doing something with Rollins. I think Roman Reigns is probably going to be involved, and I think Cena's probably going to end up, because that was one of the locations. That was one of the locations that was discussed, either Saturday night's main event or SummerSlam. I think Cena's going to end up working Cody at SummerSlam. I think that's probably going to end up being the match, which I'm looking forward to the rematch. I'm looking forward to that rematch. But as for this segment to start Monday Night Raw, fantastic.
Great segment.
Fantastic. Like I said, it took me back to my younger days. I really, really enjoyed the back and forth on the microphone.
They even referenced previous comments that they made during that 2011-2012
Correct.
when Punk referred to Cena as the Boston
Red Sox. Yeah. Yeah.
So really great callback, really great stuff. Punk saying that I have to become a monster to defeat the monster. I think that's really cool and sets the stage for if and when Punk ever does win like a world championship.
Yep, correct.
You can point back to it and say, I told you guys this makes me a monster. You cheered me then. Are you going to cheer me now? We'll see. But
yeah,
it was a hot way to start Raw. It reminded me of like the good old days of WWE Raw, where it starts off with a hot segment, and then they follow that up with a great match with AJ Styles and Chad Gable. That was really fun. Another fun Chad Gable match that AJ Styles won. What did you think of the match?
Little short for my liking, but I enjoyed the match. That's another thing that I broke on Twitter today. I broke that AJ Styles. I put it on the Patreon first, but then I put it on Twitter like an hour and a half after I put it on Patreon that AJ Styles was facing Chad Gable tonight. AJ Styles said that he was going after Chad Gable because Chad Gable kept getting in his business.
Sure.
He has mentioned this previously in the previous weeks. He said that he's going after Dominic Mysterio in the Intercontinental Championship as well. But this, for what it was, this was a good match. Solid technical wrestling. I get to watch the entire match because I have Netflix with no ads, so I sit through the entire match and watch it. The ending was spectacular. That ending was spectacular. The counter. I thought he was going to go for a calf crusher. No, he went straight into the Styles Clash.
Yeah.
What did Wade Barrett call it? The Flash Clash or something?
Something.
The Flash Clash. He was all over the place but yeah, it was good for what it was worth. I enjoy anytime that I get to see AJ Styles or Chad Gable wrestle. It's a fun time. Both of them are excellent technical wrestlers. Chad Gable is on an absolutely incredible run right now. 100%. Absolutely incredible run. I have nothing bad to say about Chad Gable. Chad Gable. Let's get that straight. Chad Gable, I have nothing bad to say about.
Sure.
Chad Gable. But yeah, AJ Styles is still doing some of his best work in that ring. Nowhere close to washed up. I hate people saying that he's washed up.
Where are the rumors coming from that he's going to go to AEW?
Because something got teased about July 12th and All In, but no, it's not AJ Styles.
That's not going to happen.
AJ Styles has a WWE contract, and he's going to retire in WWE. That's the word that he gave them, and that's what I heard. So in wrestling, you can say never, but he's got quite a bit locked up for the future. He's definitely going after that Intercontinental Championship in Dominic Mysterio. So that'll be a program that he's working.
Be a good
He's going after El Grande Americano. He talked about it in an interview. He's going after El Grande Americano. He's trying to straighten some stuff out because he's been getting screwed over way too much by Chad Gable and El Grande Americano. So he's
both of those guys who are completely two different individuals.
Two different people, allegedly. That's what Pat McAfee says. Michael Cole keeps saying it's the same person. I say it's the same person, but hey, I don't have any proof, so I can't say.
I think I side with Pat. I think they're two different.
I can't say anything right now. Let's see. Let me answer. Justin asked, "Do we know which Fatal 4-Ways are happening on SmackDown yet?" When I find out, I'll let you guys know. Like I let the people know about the Raw ones. When I find out that information, I'll let you guys know.
Oh yeah, post it.
Favorite Raw in a while. It was great. I definitely enjoyed the hell out of it, especially when I found out what was happening this afternoon. I got very excited. Yeah. Ospreay keeps doing the Styles Clash, and he wants AJ Styles over there. But he's been doing the Styles Clash for years since he's been doing it. That's something he does. If he faces somebody, he takes their move. So he took AJ Styles' move, and that's something that that's a dream match of his. And he keeps mentioning it in an interview, but that's not that. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think.
Wishful thinking.
I wouldn't mind to see it.
Of course, yeah.
I would not mind to see it as a professional wrestling fan. I wouldn't mind to see more wrestlers going over there to AEW. And vice versa going to WWE. It's healthy. It's very healthy, but he's been on record time and time again saying that he wants to retire in WWE and stay with WWE and do some other stuff with WWE once he retires. But yeah, the match was good. I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Great start. Great first match for the show. We followed that up with another great match, that fatal four-way with Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Kairi Sane, and Roxanne Perez. It was a Queen of the Ring qualifying match. Another solid match with the ladies of WWE who never disappoint. I've not seen a women's match like
that's four of the best right there. That's four of the best women in the division right there in that one match. And from the start, you knew that match was going to be good. You even had Roxanne and Liv working together at some parts of that match. Very good. A lot of great in-ring action between the four of them. The ending of the match was very spicy. I say spicy literally because Raquel showed up and screwed Rhea Ripley out of the match. Kairi Sane hit the insane elbow on Liv Morgan, but ultimately Roxanne Perez comes out of nowhere and rolls up Kairi Sane.
Not to win. Yeah.
Sneaks the win and gets into the semifinals. Fantastic match. Four amazing women right there. Now I think we're getting a program between Rhea and Raquel again. I think that's a program that's going to be happening right now. A lot of people are not a fan of it, but I think that's something we're going to end up getting. It's going to roll over into next week's qualifier. Not qualifier, the tournament match.
Yeah.
The four-way that's happening next week on Raw with the women. But yeah, it was very solid. I think it went like 15 to 20 minutes for that one.
Yeah.
Very good. More tension teased between Roxanne and Liv there, despite them helping each other at some points of that match. Very, very good. Like I said, the women's division. I don't think I've seen a women's match in quite some time that has been bad for the women's division.
Yeah, they just continue to over-deliver. And speaking of women who over-deliver, we got a segment with Becky Lynch. And we got something else that you kind of teased on your Twitter and on the Patreon. What was that?
We got a return. Becky Lynch comes out and starts talking and says that Lyra Valkyria disrespected her. She was very aggressive with raising her arm, beating her down after the match of Money in the Bank. She wants her to come out and apologize to her. She wants a real apology from Lyra Valkyria. So Lyra Valkyria's music hits. Lyra Valkyria walks out very serious, ready to come and brawl. You hear the crowd erupt. And why are they erupting? Because Becky Lynch gets attacked from behind by none other than Bayley. Bayley has returned after 2 months being taken out by Becky Lynch before WrestleMania. Took her out of that tag team opportunity. So now Bayley's back. I reported a few weeks ago that Bayley versus Becky Lynch was the plan for Evolution. That looks like the direction they are going for Evolution right now. So both of them, I'm happy for both of them. That's going to be a hell of a mid-card title match.
Great match.
That's two of the four horsewomen going at it. I think that's the last one that's never happened on the PLE. So that'll be the final of the four horsewomen having singles matches on the PLE. So
yeah, I never even thought about that. Is this the first time they're facing off in like a major
on the PLE? I think so. I think that's what the word was. That's the first time that they're going to have a PLE match against each other, singles match.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm happy to see Bayley back. She's been training, enjoying herself for a few weeks since she got kayfabe attacked by Becky Lynch and taken out of that WrestleMania match. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it. I don't know where Lyra Valkyria fits into the picture right now.
Sure.
I've seen people saying maybe Lyra Valkyria is the referee for that match, which would make sense. Lyra Valkyria was building a bond with Bayley, and she thought that she built a bond with Becky Lynch. Ultimately, Becky Lynch took out her friend. So I think that might be where she falls in at Evolution. We'll see in the coming weeks. But yeah, that's something I broke too. I'm glad. That was a return on top of Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella was a return, but that was another return on top of Nikki Bella. So it's good to see Bayley back.
It was a big night of returns for WWE women. We got Nikki Bella, we got Bayley, as you mentioned, we got Asuka, even though they kind of spoiled it themselves about Asuka's return. But after the qualifying or the match, after Roxanne went and advanced,
they posted the bracket and ultimately spoiled the other news that I posted about the return next week with Asuka. So
they did end up announcing Asuka's return officially, which
later
is
on.
good. But that definitely, I would say, could have been handled a little bit better. They could have done something.
Because look what they got on the men's side right now. They got a question mark.
Yeah, that would have been great.
A question mark for next week. They could have done the same thing for the women, but it is what it is. I'm glad to see that Asuka's coming back as well. I tweeted that Evolution season is in full effect earlier. It truly is in full effect. We're gonna have a hell of a women's pay-per-view coming on July 13th.
It's gonna be a great show. There's a lot of great shows coming up in WWE. I'm excited. I think Night of Champions will be great. Evolution will be great. We got a lot of stuff to look forward to.
Being called a shield and PR is crazy to me because that's what I get a lot. I enjoy professional wrestling, man.
Yeah,
I enjoy everything.
you like it.
And I just because I get information from somebody that talks to WWE doesn't mean that I am a PR account for WWE. Stop it. If AEW was feeding me information, I would do the exact same thing. Sure. I talked to some people over there too, but their feeding out information is completely different than what happens in WWE. So
AEW is pretty exciting.
Yeah, they are, and you'll get some stuff. You'll have Sean Rossap reporting a lot, which, like I said, shout out to Sean for all the work that he does, for the help that he's given me over the months, back from when I was just an aggregator. And he would tell me what's up with aggregating to now being in the news and being able to do this. So that's something that I would love to do. I would love to send out some AEW news too, but it's very, very they have a close circle of people who work within the creative team and stuff like that. So it's hard to get information over on that side.
Yeah, you're not sliding into Will Washington's DMs asking for info.
I love Will Washington. But I'm not asking him, hey, what's happening on the creative side for this and this and this.
Be a weird
and neither is Sean. Sean's not getting that information like that either. You build connections, you build relationships with people. I talked about this on the Raw watch along. People would talk about sources and stuff. Who's your sources? How do you get sources? You build connections. You build these relationships and these connections, and then they trust you. You're able to do this. They send it out with no name attached to it. Your name's attached to it, but not the person that's giving it to you. So if you just be a good person, man, just be a good person.
That's the point I was going to raise. More than anything, just don't suck. Don't be an asshole.
I never expected to get into the side of wrestling. I'll tell you that right now. I never expected to get into the media and the journalism side or nothing like that. I just expected to be a fan on the outside who enjoyed wrestling in a positive way, and it caught eyes. It caught eyes the way that I was doing it. Multiple people. So I'm grateful for those people for getting me in and letting me see the business on a different side. So shout out to my people. Shout out to everybody at Body Slam. I appreciate everybody here. Great team we're building here, including the PWN guys. I love you guys. I'm grateful to be on this team. So thank you for allowing me to have a platform.
I think a good point to make too is you're building this following for yourself because people genuinely like you. The most important thing you can have in this line of work is credibility and trustworthiness, right? And that's exactly what you have. You're not saying things just to say things or to get clicks or to try to make a name for yourself for any other reason other than like the information you're getting. You're presenting in a respectful way. And I think people resonate with that.
Yeah, 100%. You're obviously not going to please everybody. I got people that come in my stuff, and like I said, they call me PR and stuff. It gets me fired up. Like I'm a chill person, but if you're gonna come at me and challenge me, I'm gonna go right back at you. So
it's always the same person too. It's always like jealous. Like
it's a group of people because one person will reply and then their friends will reply and then you'll see it's a chain reaction. But don't expect me to be Mr. Nice Guy. If you're not showing me respect, I'm not going to show it back. That's the saying. I'm not going to show you any respect if you don't respect me. So, but yeah, I try to stay positive as much as I can with this platform. That's what we're trying to do here too with our community and our platform with Body Slam and PWN. We want a positive wrestling community. We're tired of the tribalism and the negative Nancy's and stuff like that. You can have an opinion on everything, but come on, man. We want everybody to eat. everybody to eat in their seats, not just us. We want everybody to eat. So, but like I said, I appreciate everybody, the connections I've made, the community I've built, the following that I've gotten over the last 16 months, because it started in February last year. So over 16 months, I've gained a big time reputation, a big time following. So I appreciate everybody.
You do. I appreciate you lending your skills and your time to Raw Dogs, because this is a fun thing to do. It's fun to chat.
I enjoy everything professional wrestling. So talking about this, being able to drop some news when I can, being on these shows. I've got some exciting stuff coming in the works too that I'm not going to talk about yet because we need to finalize it. But there's a person that I've talked to recently that is really going to shake up the world, because this is a well-known person in the entertainment business. I'm going to be doing something with them coming up. So once we figure out what we're going to do, everybody just stay tuned. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun thing for me. It's going to be on behalf of Body Slam, and this person, I got a lot of respect for this person. They are a diehard wrestling fan, but like I said, they're a well-respected person in the entertainment industry. It's going to be a fun time when whatever we do.
Would I know who it is if you told me his or her name? Would I know them?
Absolutely. I'll tell you in the private chat.
Yes.
Awesome. I'll tell you in the private chat who I've been talking to.
Well, speaking of news that you've broken and scoops that you've given, I want you to take me back. This has been kind of a whirlwind for Ron Killings. Right? Main event and Saturday night's main event. Then he was told that his contract.
Where I was there, I got to watch. He was in the middle of the card. He didn't main event. He was in the middle of the card with John Cena. It was at the 9 o'clock hour. He got to face. Yeah, he got to face. I'm telling you, that's a name, right?
Yeah, that's a name.
That is a name. Yeah, but no, Ron Killings. Well, R-Truth at the time. He was Ron Cena for that night. He wore the John Cena nostalgia gear. He did the John Cena entrance, which John Cena referenced tonight in his promo, talking about he's a wannabe me. That's all he'll ever be. So he said he started talking shit about Truth again, like he did on Friday on SmackDown. But no, yeah, R-Truth had that match with John Cena Saturday night's main event, which was also something I broke 2 weeks before Saturday night's main event. When Backlash was happening, I broke the news that R-Truth was going to be facing his childhood hero. So, but yeah, he did that match. John Cena beat him by hitting him with the title, hit him with the AA, pinned him, left him laying after the match. Then the following SmackDown, JC Mateo and R-Truth go at it. JC Mateo beats R-Truth quickly.
And we thought that would be the last that we saw of
because the Sunday after, he drops a tweet saying that he's been released by WWE, and he thanks the fans, he thanks the people. He says it's been a hell of a ride, pretty much. Thank you. Word emerges from Sean Ross Sapp that it's real. He's not hacked or nothing. This is, and you see the support coming from all the WWE universe and talent and people backstage. Road Dogg was one of the first people to drop a supportive tweet for him. Then you had pretty much the entire talent roster. You had people from other promotions dropping tweets about him. Then that week on TV, the crowd hijacks the show. We Want Truth on Raw, on NXT, on SmackDown. They want truth. So then come to find out, we talked about it. He returns at Money in the Bank and attacks John Cena and cost John Cena that match. Tonight he cut a promo. He comes out, stands on the announce table, reveals, we'll talk about that. Reveals himself on the announce table, cuts the promo, talks about it's because of you. You guys are the reason why the truth, we want truth. It's because of you. I'm here. So thank you. Thank you very much. Then he said, but I've been seen as a side character, a comedy act. That's what R-Truth is. You also brought back me. You brought back me, Ron Killings. I am Ron Killings, and I am no sideshow. I'm gonna do this. He proceeds to pull out some scissors from his pocket. and then he cuts his hair. He cuts his hair off.
Yeah.
He cut his hair off to
Symbolism.
say, and here's what he said: "The truth has set me free." If you remember, back in the day, that was his thing. The truth has set me free. When he was a heel, remember? When he was a heel back in the day, the truth has set me free. That was his thing. I had put on Twitter tonight that the truth will not set you free as a reference to that. I put it as a reference to that. I posted a GIF of him holding the NWA World Title because from now on, he is Ron, the Truth, Killings. R-Truth is dead. This is Ron, the Truth, Killings that we got. And I couldn't be happier for this guy. This man, the locker room went to bat for him. The entire wrestling community went to bat for him. I dropped an article on Saturday night after Money in the Bank about the details. Nick Khan had to step in and facilitate a deal with Ron Killings.
Super unprecedented.
Nick Khan does not get involved in any negotiations, really. He stepped in and got the deal done. The deal done was Friday. They got it done on Friday. The official deal was done on Friday. Then they hit him on Saturday, brought him in, changed up the finish, got that feel-good moment at Money in the Bank. But, yeah, Ron Killings is here now. This is Ron Killings. We're going back to a serious guy. This is no comedy act anymore. He's coming for everybody that has doubted him, everybody that has done him wrong. He's getting his son put it on his Instagram story on Saturday. He's getting his last run, one last run. So, and I'm very happy for him. I'm excited to see what's coming from it. He got that picture backstage with Triple H.
He got the finger pointing picture.
Got the finger point picture, which a lot of people said, he didn't want to be there and do that. Yeah, he didn't want to be there and do that picture because of everything that went down. Because I was one of the people that was trying to contact him. That was one of the people that was trying to contact him to get in here. But I'm really looking forward to the creative side and what we've got going on for the future for Ron Killings, because Ron Killings, when he was himself in TNA NWA, was outstanding. And his entire time in WWE, except for that one heel run that he had, Vince McMahon saw him as a comedy character, saw him as somebody that was funny. And that's why he's been around so long. But loyalty, I said it last week, loyalty doesn't mean anything. But apparently when you get a rebellion from your talent, your production staff, your people within, your creative team, and of course the fans, everything changes. And now Ron Killings is back and he's ready to take action. And I'm, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing what the man's got, what we're going to be able to see from this 53-year-old who hasn't truly gotten to tap into himself in WWE.
If this is the last final run for Ron Killings, what a way to kick it off. It was a great promo tonight. Could you see this ending with like a world championship for him?
I don't think he's going to get a world title run again. I don't think he's going to get a world title. Maybe he gets a title in this run because the details of his contract are not disclosed.
Sure.
They're not given the terms of the agreement or anything. It's just stated that it's one final run. He's an employee. Ron Killings is an employee of WWE. He's on a different contract than an active talent contract. He's got a different type of contract. So I don't know. Yeah, I put that in my article on Saturday. I don't know how long he has, how long this is going to go. But I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited to see the direction they go with him, because he's going to have input in how Ron Killings is presented on TV. So I'm excited to see exactly what happens there.
It was a blast to see him back. And I think because earlier in the night, John Cena said that you're to the fans, your voice doesn't matter. You don't matter. And then for Ron Killings to come out and say, no, you do. I'm here because of you. I thought that was kind of a good little VA between those two. Very cool. Very happy for Ron, the Truth Killings. Following that, we got another backstage segment with Judgment Day. See some more tension with Liv, Morgan, and Roxanne Perez, and Finn and Dom. What I wanted to ask you was, we know where this is going. It's going to end up with a feud between Liv Morgan, Finn Balor, Roxanne Perez, and Dominic Mysterio. Who are the good guys in that situation, or are they all?
That's the question of what's going to happen there, because they all have something on their mind, and Liv and Dom have been tweeners for the longest time, but the fans love Finn and the fans love Roxy too, so it's going to be very interesting to see what. And then the question remains: what happens to Raquel and what happens to JD McDonough? Well, where do they go? What happens to those guys when this feud is happening? Whose side are they standing on? Are they getting involved in it? Notice that there's one member of Judgment Day no longer there. He was also informed that his contract wasn't being renewed, and that member is Carlito. Carlito was also a comedy for the most part in his second run with WWE, but respect to him for the legend that he is. He just won the WWC Puerto Rico Championship 2 weekends ago before he was informed that he was not being renewed. So shout out to Carlito. We love you, my guy. I love you, my guy. And
Love you,
I know he's gonna do. I think he's gonna go do more work over there. But wherever he ends up, not just WWC, because I think he'll pop up somewhere else. He's gonna do amazing. Carlito, he's in amazing shape. He can still work in the ring, so shout out to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Judgment Day, there's a lot of twists and turns. I got told there's a lot of twists and turns to expect coming up in the next few weeks regarding Judgment Day also.
Cool. I'm excited to see it. I think all the performers in Judgment Day are great. So after that, we got the men's four-way match for the semifinals for the King of the Ring match. It was Sami Zayn taking on Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, and Penta in another really good, really solid match. Right? What did you think of the match?
Another good fatal four-way match. A lot of great action. You had everybody going at everybody in this match. At one point, it looked like Braun Breaker was going to win this match. And then somebody shows up. Which I had dropped a report earlier in the day too about this person. Heading into Night of Champions, they attack Braun Breaker with a BFT, and that person is LA Knight. Yeah,
Knight.
The We Want LA Knight movement was all over Twitter this morning. I had to ask, why do you want LA Knight? What do you want from him? Sure. What are we asking for? I got a lot of responses. A lot of people coming at me and saying he's been a jobber, a mid-carder. He deserves a world title, this and that. Well, guess what? You're getting some good direction from him now, because guess what? He's no longer in the Bloodline Vortex. He's working. As of right now, the plan is LA Knight, Seth Rollins, Night of Champions. That's the working plan as of this moment. And the seeds were planted tonight with LA Knight attacking Braun Breaker. Which ultimately led to, because you had Penta taken out already. Penta got taken out by Braun Breaker with a spear on the outside, which was going to lead to Braun Breaker going back in the ring to spear and get the win. So you had that left Dominic Mysterio and Sami Zayn in the ring. Sami Zayn gets the win over Dominic Mysterio and advances to the semifinals. Great for Sami Zayn.
Were you surprised by that move, or did you kind of have a feeling Sami would win it?
I'm not surprised because of where they're going for Night of Champions. I'm not surprised because of where they're going for Night of Champions. I think Sami Zayn's going to end up in the finals of Night of Champions. I think he's going to be in the finals on the Raw, that one bracket, because it could be Raw versus Raw. But I think he's going to end up in the finals because they love him in Saudi Arabia. I think Sami Zayn going to Saudi Arabia and wrestling in front of his people is great for him.
Could he end up facing Cody Rhodes in the finals of the King of the Ring?
With the way the bracket looks, that could be a possibility.
That would be great.
We'll see how everything goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sami Zayn gets the win. We go to commercial. The American viewers did not get to see it. But Karrion Kross confronts Sami Zayn again backstage and clapping and clapping and clapping and saying, "You did it! You did it! You took a different route to get the win. Just like I said, you did it. You're a manipulator. You've been a manipulator. You're not a good guy." Sami Zayn follows up by saying, "I did it on my own. I did it on my own." And Karrion Kross looks at him like, okay. So I think we're going to get a program with the two of them sometime soon. I think that's the direction we may be going, which that leads into this chat right here from Gabriel. I'm hoping Karrion Kross gets a very big push this summer and gets a new contract. I haven't heard anything on contract. Sean Ross Sapp said the same thing last week. He hadn't heard if they had talked or anything. But they're using him as this character that gets to other characters right now, which means I hate the fact that his segment was during a commercial break because the American audience does not get to see it. They only get to see it. They get to see it on social media when WWE posted clips on social media. Mm-hmm. But I think Karrion Kross is going to be just fine. And like I said, I think Sami Zayn is going to be just fine. I think he goes to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament.
Absolutely. So, do you think that Sami Zayn ends up winning the tournament? Could he challenge Gunther for the World Championship at SummerSlam, or do you think he's going to be with Karrion Kross at SummerSlam?
I think anything is possible at this point, which we'll get into in a little bit. But I think anything is possible at this point. Him doing that, you got to remember the Royal Rumble's in Saudi Arabia next year. I think that would be the moment that would be the moment I want them to really crown him to get his moment. I think I don't think he goes over in the King of the Ring tournament. I think he gets close. I think we get a bunch of false finishes, no pun intended. I think we get a bunch of false finishes there. But yeah, I think Sami Zayn is going to have a nice summer leading into next year, going into the Royal Rumble. I think it's in February again. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that Sami Zayn ultimately doesn't win King of the Ring, but he gets the World Championship opportunity next year. And he ultimately, after it's 10 years right now, so after 11 years, he gets a World Championship in WWE.
How cool. Yeah, I thought that I wanted him to win King of the Ring, but now that you reminded me that Royal Rumble's in Saudi, that's the move. That's the play. That's awesome. And that was a very good match. Following that, we had an AJ Styles segment that kind of bled into a New Day segment where they said that they don't want to defend the tag titles against just anybody. How are you feeling about New Day right now? Have they cooled off for you, or?
There was so much momentum when I heard that they were doing an anniversary segment for them a few months before the segment. I knew Big E was going to be involved in some type of way. I think the feeling was that Big E was going to be able to get cleared for in-ring competition. So I think that right now it's dragging their entire tag team championship reign, their heel run is dragging because I think they're still under the hopes that at some point Big E is going to be able to come back. It's rough. It's very rough for him. So I don't know. He's a warrior. He's an absolute beast. Rehab and everything that he does outside of wrestling. I think that their reign after winning at WrestleMania has been very, I can't say boring because they had a hell of a triple threat tag team match for those titles.
Sure.
That tag team match. Now they're trying to get Grayson Waller to turn on Austin Theory, which earlier in the show we saw Grayson Waller and Austin Theory arguing in the background before Becky Lynch came out. They're still continuing to tease this A-Town Down Under split. It's been going on far too long. I just want it to happen already because, good Lord, I am exhausted. The New Day, it's just I want them to actually have a program there because who's going to take the titles from them right now? You've had every team come after them pretty much. Every single team that Monday Night Raw has come after them.
Sure.
Who's left? I know Chad Gable has said that the Creeds are going to come after him again and win those tag team titles. But does that really make sense when they already had a match and they lost? They're the ones that lost.
And they're heels too.
Yeah, I don't know who as the baby faces would you have. Braun and Bronson, maybe. I don't think you have two big-ass heels going after them either.
Yeah.
SmackDown tag team division is great. The Raw tag team division, everybody is stagnant. It's like we need something to change because you can't have all of these heel tag teams going against each other. New Catch Republic. The problem with that is, when do you introduce them onto television? Because they're just working main event right now. When are you bringing them back to TV? You have plenty of TV time to put them on, at least a backstage segment, something. If they're going to be the ones to challenge them, when do you bring Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate back to television?
That's a great question. I don't know. Do you remember when the draft is? Is that coming up soon?
There's been so much talk about a draft that at this point, I don't think a draft is happening anymore. Okay. They're just calling people up from NXT without a draft now at this point, just having them sign contracts to be on the rosters. We need a shakeup of some sort.
Yeah, at least in the tag division.
We did the transfer window in January, and it went absolutely nowhere. Nothing came out of it. We didn't get a damn thing. No champions changed brands. We got Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest to go to SmackDown. What else did we fucking get? Nothing really. It's like, what are we doing here? Yeah. So we need a shakeup of some sort, just to even out the rosters, because the programs are so dull on one show and fantastic on the other, and different. One division thrives on one show and it's shitty on the other show. So they need to even it out.
You're hot about this.
It's just the way that they have it going right now is they really do need to even out these rosters. I love that they brought up the NXT women. I love that they brought up Julia. I love that they brought up Roxanne. I love that they brought up Stephanie. Jordan Grace was rumored to be brought up, but I still haven't been able to confirm a timeline on that, which I'm trying to work on. So I'm trying to see if that's still the case, what's going on there, because she showed up on NXT last week. Speaking of NXT last week, we got a rehaul of the NXT Women's Division too. We got Mariah. Mariah popped up on NXT last week. So there's a lot going on right now in these divisions. I just don't know about the Raw Tag Team division. What do you do? Who's the ones that take these titles from these cocky SOBs?
I don't know, man. I don't know who it could be, but I do know that Nikki Bella returned to Raw tonight. She hyped up Evolution and then had a little segment with Liv Morgan. Ended up getting laid out by Liv Morgan. So, of course, the question on Twitter is that going to lead to a one-on-one match between Nikki and Liv? Maybe a tag team match, bringing in Brie. What do you think?
What I heard as of 2:00 this afternoon was Liv was taking on Nikki. Okay. I didn't hear anything about a tag team match. In the process, when I've been talking about Evolution for the past few months and saying that Nikki Bella was factored in Evolution, I haven't heard Brie Bella's name be brought up. So I think Nikki, if they would have come back together tonight, it would have made sense that it was the Bella twins. Right. But I just, as of this moment, I haven't heard Brie Bella's name be thrown around whatsoever. I think it's just going to be a singles match between Nikki and Liv, especially after what Liv did tonight. The insults that they threw back and forth at each other. I think it's just going to be a one-on-one match at this point, which that's going to be a great one-on-one match. Both of them are fantastic in-ring competitors. Nikki hasn't really had a true run, so I'm not sure what we can have there. I'm not sure what we're going to get when it comes to them. But I know she'll still go out there and put on one hell of a show. She's been training with Natalya over here at the Dungeon in Tampa. They've been training at the Dungeon. So she's been training for in-ring for a while. And I think we'll get a good program out of them the next 4 weeks leading to Evolution.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the idea of Evolution. I'm a fan of the show coming up. We already mentioned that we might get Bayley taking on Becky Lynch. Do you have any idea what are some other potential matches that could happen at Evolution?
There's talks. I saw PW Insider reported it today, but I had also heard that Jade Cargill, because it's in Atlanta, her city, she's getting a major push heading into Evolution. Jade Cargill versus Naomi is probably happening in Atlanta, Georgia at Evolution. Initially, there was talks of Jade Cargill and Charlotte happening at Evolution, which if you've watched SmackDown, you see that they've teased a little program between the two of them. So if they don't do that match at Evolution, they might do that match down the line at a bigger PLE. So I think that might be something that we see there. Io Sky is supposed to have a big program heading in to Evolution. I know a lot of her fans are upset right now because all she's doing is backstage segments and run-ins. I get it. I understand. I don't make the creative decisions. So don't air your grievances at me.
It's not Cory's fault.
I just post what I hear, just like any other journalist in the game. Sean posts what he hears. Mike Johnson posts what he hears. Dave Meltzer posts what he hears. It's part of the game. If you're in the journalism side of things and you hear it from multiple people, you're gonna go ahead and inform the people who want to hear the news, like I did today with all the Monday Night Raw news and the potential Night of Champions news. So that's something that just happens, and I think Io is going to be okay because I was also told that she's supposed to face Liv soon. There's supposed to be a program coming out of that too, because the last few weeks they've been doing stuff teasing between Kyrie, Liv, and Io and Raquel.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens when it comes up to that. Let me answer JC real quick. I don't think it's going to be Saturday because Evolution's the next night. So I don't think we're going to get any big women's matches on Saturday night's main event. We got to fill Evolution out with a lot of your talent. When does Goldberg back? I know he had a setback in rehab, so I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. The original plan was Goldberg versus Gunther, July 12th at Saturday night's main event. Now I'm not entirely sure. I'll try to find out more information about that. Let's see. When will Roman Reigns be back? That is a question that I will not publicly say. If I had the information of when he's going to be back, I wouldn't publicly state that, Matthew. I appreciate you asking the question. I appreciate you being here watching us. But if I had the information, which I keep asking about, I wouldn't tell you on a stream. That would be a scoop.
That'd be a Body Slam exclusive that we would get paid for.
Absolutely. Let's see what else we got. Interesting that in the Queen of the Ring, Alexa, Charlotte, and Candice are in the same match for the tournament. Nikki Cross has been teasing going after Candice, Alexa, and Nikki interaction. I think that's where we start getting the Wyatt Six stuff. Yes, I think we've got that. She's been teasing for quite a while. Alexa Bliss has. She's been talking to Lily and other people, and pretty much been throwing hints about the Wyatts the entire time. So I think we're eventually, and during the summer, we're gonna get to this program with them. Alexa and Charlotte. Alexa tried to be Charlotte's friend, remember, and Charlotte blew her off. So I think we'll end up getting something there. But after that Nikki Bella and Liv Morgan segment, we got to the main event. The Ring General Gunther versus World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Better than WrestleMania. Than WrestleMania, 100%. 100% better than WrestleMania. They both gave each other all they could give. And Jey Uso fought till the very last moment. He was taking everything that Gunther was dishing at him, taking all the pain. The fans were trying to cheer him on. He was going from the fans' adrenaline. But at the end of the day, we got a new World Heavyweight Champion. The Ring General Gunther is your World Heavyweight Champion once again.
I want to talk about that ending layout because the switching between the sleeper hold, just that whole final stretch of that match is very simple wrestling, but my God, it told such a good story.
The story in the entire match was good. A lot of people aren't happy because Jey Uso took the loss, but Jey Uso got his World Heavyweight Championship run. It might have been 2 months. It might have been a 2-month reign. He might have been that. I guess you could say he had a transition period, but he was seen as his nickname, Main Event Jey Uso. He was Main Event Jey Uso, and I couldn't be prouder of the work that he did during his World Heavyweight Championship run. The fans obviously love him. The Yeet is so over. He brought his son with him to ringside.
Yeah.
And a trend that I've noticed is if the families are there, the person's not winning. The person is, especially against Gunther.
Yeah.
Chad Gable brought his family. Sami Zayn had his family, and Jey Uso had his son. And
don't bring your family if you're taking on Gunther. That should be the mandate.
Gunther's gonna look you in your eye and embarrass you in front of your family.
Embarrass you in front of your people. Man, yeah. I got to tell you, man, I don't know what I was expecting from the end of it. I do know what I was expecting. I assumed, like probably most people, that somehow Seth Rollins and his
Rollins was going to cash in.
I didn't know if it'd be a successful cash in or if he would just tease it. I did not think for a minute that Gunther was just going to win clean, and that's exactly what he did. And that's what I love about it, because it was unpredictable. It was clean. It was a major shot in the arm for Gunther.
And like I said, yeah, it was the entire episode of Raw, start to finish, was chaos in a good way. A lot of fun chaos. It wasn't chaotic as it's probably the best Raw of the year in my eyes. A lot of stuff, action packed from start to finish. That's what they need to do. That's what I've been told they're going to do. Is they're going to put the emphasis on the second W in WWE. They need to. That's what the fans have been asking for. Why are we getting shit when we could have this with these great?
We can have AJ Styles versus Chad Gable.
You have people were bitching about these Fatal 4-Way brackets, talking about it's lazy and it's overblown. But look at what the multi-person matches are doing. Yeah. Look at WWE is not missing when it comes to multi-person matches. Their multi-person matches are laid out in a way that you enjoy. If your favorite doesn't win, you still get to enjoy that match because the in-ring action is great. It's great. And like you said, it was a shock factor. Gunther winning back the World Heavyweight Championship. He has been chasing it ever since Mania again. He's been watching in the background, and he made the declaration, I'm coming after whoever wins the match between you and Logan Paul on June 9th, Phoenix, Arizona. I'm going to get my title back. Ever since I've been in WWE, I've been a champion for 80% of the time. I am the guy. I am the ring general. This is my ring. The ring is sacred. Yeah, so I think him doing that, him winning back the World Heavyweight Championship, I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for him. As for Jey, they were really selling the ribs for Jey Uso. So I'm thinking that they might be selling the ribs for a few weeks because he took a beating the last week. He got his ass kicked by Seth Rollins and his crew last week. He got his ass kicked again on Friday by John Cena and Logan Paul. He took a beating in the tag team match on Saturday. And then tonight, Gunther beat the living hell out of him. That's why he didn't want to take off his shirt. He did not want to take off his T-shirt because his ribs were taped up. And once Gunther was able to get to those ribs, he ripped off that tape, and it was fair game.
That's why I don't take my shirt off either, because my ribs hurt. And I don't.
Well, I bet.
Sorry for me. So,
I bet.
I feel Jey. So somebody asked, where does this leave Jey? What's his next move? Do you think?
That's what I'm wondering, because they said eventually the Usos were going to reunite as a tag team. I don't think
maybe the Usos could take on New Day.
That would be my view. But the question is, how do you get Jimmy over to Raw? How do you get Jimmy over there? It's a lot of moving pieces are going to have to happen if that's what we're going to do. I think the Usos should be a tag team again fairly soon. They both have done solid as singles competitors. Jey got a bigger push than Jimmy, but Jimmy's in-ring work as a singles competitor was overlooked completely because he was very good in-ring as a singles competitor. And he got the nickname Big Jim. Big Jim. I know that Solo Sikoa is still trying to get Jimmy Uso to join his crew over there on SmackDown. So it's going to be interesting, especially with Jacob Fatu no longer associated with them, to see what happens there and see if we get any new Bloodline members introduced into these stories. Because there are a few that are signed under contract that are just sitting there, not doing anything.
They just trademarked the name, didn't they? I forget what.
No, it was fake. It was fake.
Okay.
That name was somebody tried to circulate. No, they didn't trademark.
What? If you don't hear from Cory Hayes, it's not true.
You got to hear from Fightful. Fightful will tell you.
Fightful is good. I hear they're pretty reputable.
Sean Ross Sample will tell you more than I do because he gets more news than I do. So,
Sure.
But for the ones that actually support me, thank you. I appreciate you for being here. We've got people all over right now watching, so thank you to all of you watching. We have
good numbers.
We got 1183 watching right now. So to the 1183 across all social platforms, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
This has been a hell of a Raw Dogs tonight. I'm glad we did it.
It's been a great show. It's been a great show for us because it was a great show on Netflix.
And it was a great show for us having people in the comments too. Missing JPJ. Shout out to JPJ.
We'll be back next week.
Hell of a working man. Got a lot going on. Just like me, sometimes we'll miss the show. Sometimes we got stuff going on and we got to take care of. But yeah, shout out. Life takes over. Something like you had something that came up.
Yeah, I was going for
you had an opportunity that came up, which was a good opportunity that you took at the moment. So that was good. That was great for you to be able to get that experience over on that side too. Those guys. But yeah, to everybody in the chat, you guys have been amazing. To everybody watching Raw Dogs with us tonight, you've been amazing. We appreciate you. To everybody that's supporting me, who followed me today, I saw a bunch of you, literally a bunch of you. My phone would not stop blowing up all day. I had over 500 people follow me today. So to the ones that are following me on this journey, the ones who have been there from day one, thank you. I appreciate you. Body Slam appreciate you. My family here, Body Slam and PWN, you guys are the best. My brother Nick here is great too with his articles and his insight that he has. Go and give him a follow, please. Western Rebel on Twitter, give him a follow. You definitely, Johnny Gargano, if you're watching, give Nick a follow.
Please follow me, Johnny Wrestling.
Give Nick a follow for his article that he did. He's definitely a big fan of yours. Gio, I see you in the chat. Thank you, my brother, for always supporting me. To all of you, JC, appreciate you for your support, brother. Good to always hear from all of you. Like I said, we've got a lot coming with Body Slam now, with our Patreon officially launching today. There's going to be a lot more exclusive content, not just scoops. We're gonna have exclusive content coming there too. People will be doing we'll have interviews and stuff like that before they hit the general web. Kind of like the scoops before the scoops hit the general web. We'll post them on Patreon. There's a lot going on. Cassidy and the team are working on it. I'm a part of it, but I'm letting them work on everything. I put it together.
To Cassidy Haynes too, right?
That's my favorite, man. That is
mastermind behind Body Slam.
That is my guy. He does it all. For the love of the game, this man is traveling weekend on weekend across the country, going to independent shows, going to all this stuff for the love of the game. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves. So you said, shout out to Cassidy for putting this together, for getting the team together, for everything that's coming about now with Body Slam. It's been a long time coming. He deserves it. The team deserves it. And you guys, the ones that are here with us, you deserve it as well. We appreciate you. Like I said, there's so much coming that I cannot wait to share with you guys. Like I told you earlier in the show, Nick, what I sent you in that chat, that is gonna be major.
Huge.
I am working on that. I'm gonna talk to that person and see what we're gonna do. But thank you everybody so much for tuning into the watch alongs, for supporting Body Slam, for being here on Raw Dogs with us. We truly do appreciate you guys, and we love you, and thank you, really.
All right, everybody. Well, that has been Cory Hayes. You can give him a follow at Cory_Hayes 407. Follow me, like Cory said. That was the directive. You have to do it now. I'm at Western Rebel on Twitter, X. This has been Raw Dogs. It's been such a blast, you guys. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week.